AVtv is a product of the AV journalism class produced for the students of Amador Valley High School. The views expressed on the show do not represent the views of AVHS teachers, admin, or PUSD personnel.
Good morning, Dons. Today is Thursday, May 5th, and I'm Renna.
And I'm Carol. Let's get right on into some announcements. Dons, we hope you're all feeling well and aren't too stressed about AP testing.
Just in case anyone starts to feel too anxious or overwhelmed, the AV Wellness Center is now open every day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Remember, sometimes it's okay to not feel okay. Don't be afraid to reach out for help if you need it.
It's important to take care of yourself. The Wellness Center is just one of the many ways students at Amador can better their health.
That's right. That's why we've added a new health and wellness section to our website, Amador Valley Today. Let's check it out.
Recently, AV Journalism has added a new page to their website, the AV Health and Wellness page. Centered on students' well-being and mental health, the page seeks to provide students with important skills.
The point of the AVT Health and Wellness page was to really bring to light topics that have become more prevalent when speaking about youth and teens in the media. Considering that we are currently working through a global pandemic, topics such as mental health, social health, and physical health have really become more prevalent. So with the AVT page, we are hoping to bring together ideas that'll showcase and highlight ways that we face this in the community, how each individual students work with these sort of things, and really just an informational basis through which we can provide media regarding overall social health and well-being.
The first article posted focused on time management, which the article says can promote several ways to create and maintain a stable schedule. Future articles will focus on other ways to provide students with helpful tips, such as aromatherapy, a holistic healing treatment. Read more about the page on amadorvalleytoday.org. Now, back to the studio.
Now we have another announcement.
Calling all seniors. Caps and gowns will be available for pickup on Friday, May 6 during lunch in the MPR lobby. This is the only pickup day, so all seniors must pick up at this time.
3 months ago, the R building was completed as a new addition to our campus. Although there have been many delays, the building is now fully being used.
We've sent Zanil and Jackson back over to see how students and teachers are enjoying the new building. Let's check it out.
After more than 3 months, teachers and students have finally had the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the new building on campus, decorating classrooms and enjoying the luxuries that Amador's latest edition has to offer.
Some of the luxuries that the new campus has to offer is the couches that they come with. I think the high ceilings are also pretty good, just makes it feel more spacious because the floor area is a bit small.
The R building, as it has officially been named, has been received well, boasting the latest in educational technologies, unconventional teacher-student classroom dynamics, as well as a fitted elevator. But even with its benefits, teachers did face some hardships in the relocation process.
It took a while for us to get into the new building. We had to have a mover come a couple of times and bring some stuff in. Throwing away stuff from the old rooms, that was a bit of a task, but it's probably good because it forces you to kind of pare down some of the things you have.
As of now, 11 teachers have relocated to the new building on campus. Allen, Boone, Bauer, Cox, Medicich, and Palmer joined forces on the ground floor, with Barnett, Becker, Briggs, Hansen, and Kioy on the second floor. With more teachers to follow, the new building has truly added a breath of fresh air and modernity to Amador's campus.
Luxuries are going to be brand new tables, chairs. We actually got to help get some input into some of this equipment. One of the nice benefits is that the majority of the tables are dry erase. So you can actually write on the tables themselves and kids can work out problems. The view is incredible. All this natural light that we have inside the room. And we actually requested and added some couches.
On a more funnier note, we at AV Journalism would also like to report on the peculiar numbering system of the new R building. The first classrooms on the ground floor start with R101, 102, and 103, as expected. But interestingly enough, the R building continues with classroom R120, followed by R121, 123, and R124. Additionally, the second floor starts out the same way as the first, with R201, 202, and 203. Then it seemingly skips ahead to R210, followed by R213, 211, and 212. A lot of classrooms have seemed to disappear, and if you know where these rooms went, let AV Journalism know. And with that, this is Anil Kuviji with AVtv News.
Dons, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This is a great time to celebrate some of the different cultures that make up so much of our student body.
That's why we had reporter Alina Yang find out some of the history behind AAPI Heritage Month and how some Amador students identify with it. Let's check it out.
It all began through the House Joint Resolution of 1007 in the late 1970s that called for recognition of the AAPI community to the U.S., where by 1979, former President Jimmy Carter signed Asian Pacific American Heritage Week into Public Law 95-419. As the observance was later expanded by Congress from a week to a month, it was additionally renamed as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The month of May was chosen because it commemorated the immigration of the first Japanese people to the U.S. and the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad by mainly Chinese workers. The Asian American and Pacific Islander umbrella term includes cultures from the entire Asian continent and all the Pacific Islands, and today we celebrate the diversity in Amador as well.
I am part of the API
community in Amador,
한국, Korea,
Filipinas, Philippines,
Taiwan, Taiwan,
tiếng Việt, Vietnam,
Nihon, Japan,
中国, China,
Bharat, India.
This is the history of Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, and this is Arlena Yang with AVtv.
Spring has sprung, and with it have come pollen, dirt, and germs.
That's why it's so important that we all do our spring cleaning, and not just the usual dusting. We had some AVJ reporters find out some of the dirtiest things that most people don't think to clean. Let's check it out.
April showers bring May flowers, and with spring comes spring cleaning. Here are 5 of the yuckiest things you may not think to clean.
Number 1, your phone. Phones can have more than 17,000 bacterial gene copies crawling around on the screens we touch so often. To clean yours, spray a microfiber cloth with disinfectant and wipe down your device.
Number 2, keyboards. Similarly to your phone, computer keyboards are constantly being touched, but rarely being cleaned. You can clean yours the same way you cleaned your phone, with the addition of a Q-tip to get into hard-to-reach crevices.
Number 3, AirPods. Many students have their earbuds or AirPods in all day, every day, but they don't clean them nearly as often. Similar to the other 2 devices on this list, use a microfiber cloth slightly dampened with water or disinfectant to clean every 72 hours of wear.
Number 4, backpack. School bags get thrown around, tossed on the floor, and touched by dirty hands all day. The best way to keep your bag clean is to take out and disinfect all the items inside. Either toss the bag in a laundry machine or spot clean it, depending on the brand.
Number 5, credit cards and cash. Money is handled by many unclean hands. Credit and debit cards are rarely, if ever, cleaned, which can transfer bacteria to other things we are touching. Be sure to wipe down your credit cards with a disinfectant wipe regularly, and wash your hands after handling money.
Stay clean, Dons. This has been Parker Ran
and Renna Popley with AVtv News.
Amador, like so much of the country, has nearly eliminated COVID restrictions and mandates.
That's very true. We've come so far. It makes me wonder just where we stand with the pandemic now. Luckily, AVtv reporter Audrey Coombs has our answer.
As mask mandates start to come off, we take for granted how far we've come during the pandemic. Since the first COVID case in 2019, the virus began to spread all around the world. This sent people into panic as they cleared the shelves in order to stock up on supplies for self-isolation at home. As COVID cases began to rise in California, March 13th of 2020 marked the last day of in-person learning for students in Pleasanton. An email was sent out to parents and students the next day that after a week of teacher training, students would begin remote learning on March 23rd until spring break. This was a period of instability as teachers and students adjusted to this new type of learning. Many school events had unfortunately been canceled during the 2020 school year, including prom, senior ball, Dunversity, and other around-campus activities. And what was supposed to be a 2-week period off of school led to a long-term pandemic with a total of over 510 million cases and 6.3 million deaths worldwide. The following school year, online learning continued and a new schedule was set in place with 3-period block days and Wednesday access. School activities were limited, but teachers and staff were determined to try to keep students connected. Around this time, COVID vaccine research had progressed greatly, and people began getting the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. As more people began getting vaccinated, it allowed for hybrid learning during the second semester. As the effects of staying isolated for so long became clear, the need to return to in-person learning became crucial. As students and staff came back to school this year, mask mandates were enforced and school activities returned. Back in March, mask mandates were lifted and students and staff were given the choice if they wanted to wear a mask. As we finally seem to be inching back to our normal pre-COVID lives, it's fascinating to see how far we've come as a community in this pandemic. This has been Audrey Coombs with AVtv News. Now back to the studio.
Now it's time for the photo of the week. You can submit yours to avtv@rocketmail.com.
Well, that's it for today. Make sure you hang around for today's birthday grams and check back in with us next Thursday for more news, announcements, and profiles.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Dons, it's always a beautiful day here at Amador.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.